Richard Baskin then of Punchbagpro. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you ever so much for having me.
You're welcome, mate. This is your first podcast, isn't it?
Ever. Yeah, I've never done a podcast before. So, yeah, it was really...
I'll break you in nice and gently, don't worry.
Well, let's see how we go. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, of course, man.
Really happy to be with you, mate. I know that your channel and everything's exploding quite nicely. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. And also, congratulations on your new book that you just finished. I just saw.
Oh, you plugged it for me. Amazing. Cool. I didn't have to do it myself. I'll pay you that $5 later. Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, so the channel's going well. Everything's going well. Obviously, getting cool people on, such as yourself, to chat about what they do and obviously what you do. It says on your t-shirt, for those that will be looking on YouTube, Punchbagpro, superior striking courses. Awesome. Yeah, let's talk about that, man. And let's see, how did it all come about for you?
Okay, so well, I've been training martial arts for about 25 years now. So started karate when I was 7, and then met Matthew Chapman from McMaster and James Evans Nicole when I was about 13. And since then, I've been doing martial arts like every single day. So
top guys, yeah, nice.
Yeah, still totally addicted to this day. And yeah, started training with them when I was 13. Got my black belt 3 years later at 16. Carried on training, went to uni, competed up at uni, and then came back. Matt was like, "What are you going to do now?" So I was like, "Well, I can either get a job because I studied automotive engineering."
Wow. Okay.
Or he was like, "Well, why don't you try setting up a club?" So I was like, "All right, fine." Doing something that you love.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could get was on a Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock at the local gym.
Right.
And I was like, who's going to come out and train at 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon?
Yeah.
So,
God's day of rest. You need to chill and unwind on a Sunday. Stick on something.
Exactly. Everyone's having their Sunday roast. Everyone's just chilling. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'll take it. And I'll take that slot. And then I think in the first class, there was about 8 people. 6 of them were just like my mates who were just like waiting to bulk out the class. And there was 2 students. Yeah. And then about 10 years later, it's grown into what's the Fusion Kickboxing Academy. Yeah. And we had about 200 students across about 7 classes. We're getting like 40, 50 students consistently every single class. So I had the busiest month ever, and then COVID hit, which wasn't fun.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was going really well. The classes were always packed. And then whilst I was teaching and doing all that, I started a little side hustle with Punchbagpro because Matt, obviously being my coach, he was getting me to film his MIT videos with him.
Yeah, I've seen you on some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Matt. Obviously, everyone's talking about Matt lately, so I've known him for quite a long time, and he's been really good to me. So, yeah, he was like, look, why don't you start doing some training on the side, just build it up. So I was like, what should I do? And he went, well, if he's doing the pad, so I may as well do the punch bag. So I was like, yeah, cool. Yeah. And I started just with a couple of videos, just some kickboxing drills, stuff that I enjoyed, and just doing it alongside Fusion. It wasn't really my main focus. Sure. I was just adding bits to it, seeing how it goes. And then you just see it slowly build and slowly get more stuff up into it. And then it's been about 4 years where I've just dabbled with it on and off. And obviously with the pandemic, it's like, well, may as well dive into it a bit more.
Yeah, perfect.
And now I counted the other day, there's about over 1,000 striking videos.
I saw that. Yeah, you posted it. I was like, shit.
I know. I was like, all right, let's have a look how much is actually here. There was about 30 odd courses, 50 hours of content, and about 1,000 different striking videos. And I was like, whoa, that's quite a lot of stuff. So I've literally spent the last few months just working on it, making it look a lot more professional, and just last few days I've just been refining everything. So whereas it was all a bit over the place, I've just condensed everything into 7 main areas now. So instead of having loads of different bits, it's just boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA, fighter drills, fitness drills, and some classes from the academy when I was filming there as well. And yeah, just starting to unleash it to the world.
Unleash the beast.
Yeah, see how it goes, So it's just a little side hustle there, like you see people like Gary Vee and all these motivational quotes saying, if you don't start now, so I just thought, I'd start and then 4 years later, you look back, and you've just got a massive like database of striking techniques of everything that I've learned. And it's a nice little thing to leave behind.
Of course, yeah.
I'm not planning to go anywhere, but you know, leave something, you know, even for my kids, you know, like this is what Dad done, and also share it with people who've got a punch bag who are just interested and want to get the most out of it. Because you know, the amount of punch bags like that you see in gyms, but I kind of started it because beginners don't really know what to do on them. They kind of go up to them, they're like, what do I do? And they feel a bit awkward, and then they hit it for like 10 seconds.
Whack it, get bored, move on.
Exactly. So I was like, well, hang on, is there any specific training for a punch bag? And I had a look about, and there's workouts and stuff, but it's just like the generic hit it for 50 times, do 10 press ups, hit it for 40 times. So I was like, well, if I can offer something that is going to be of good value to people, you know, actual specific techniques on how to use it, you know, what different techniques to train. And then once they, you know, train on their punch bag, they can add it into their normal training anyway.
For sure.
You know, so yeah, that's kind of how it all started. Yeah, and that was a little side hustle. Now seeing where it goes in the future, really. So it's exciting. It's exciting doing the side hustle, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like the stars aligned. So obviously you had all these videos, and then the pandemic hit, and you already had like a course there built for you that you just had to push.
Exactly. Yeah, I think where it wasn't my main focus, because obviously when you're teaching and, you know, I've got kids, looking after the kids and this, that, and the other, it was just something that I do when I got the chance. So, you know, if I had like the odd Sunday evening or Saturday night, I'd go down the gym when obviously everyone's out like partying and stuff like that. I'd be like, right, let's dedicate a bit of time, put the work in now, get it all filmed. You know, you do about, I think it may be like half an hour prep, just get it out of my brain of what I was going to do. You know, maybe like an hour to an hour and a half filming, go home, edit it, stick it online. So it's about, I've refined it down to a couple of hours now, but it used to take maybe 4 or 5 hours for everything. And then you look back and there's just loads. Like if someone said to me now, right, Rich, you got to film 1,000 videos on the punch bag, I'd be like, what? Like, no way am I ever going to do that. But if you just chip away at it, that's kind of how it's worked. And now there's just some massive program with all different things. So I've got loads more stuff I want to add to it as well. So yeah, it's exciting, man. It's cool, you know.
Amazing. Yeah. What's some of like the programs that are involved in the Punchbagpro courses then?
So what have we got? There's 4. So with what I train, I obviously think it's really good not to be one-dimensional. So you need the power punching, the head movement, the blocking from boxing. You need spinning kicks, jumping kicks, you know, combos from kickboxing, you know, Dutch style, etc. You need elbows and knees and clinch from Muay Thai. And then obviously, if you're doing MMA, you need to know takedowns, takedown defense, grappling, jiu-jitsu. So the 4 main areas I like to focus on is boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA, because I think if you've got those 4 cornerstones, you know, and they kind of cross as well. So, you know, you can see the elements from kickboxing are applied in boxing, boxing elements are applied in MMA, you know, as long as you can understand that, you know, if you're standing in a boxer's stance low, then you're going to find it hard to shin check, right? Because your weight's a lot lower. But once you start learning it and really understanding it, you can apply all the principles and techniques in different ways anyway. So like different jab variations, etc. You know, so yeah, and then they're the 4 main areas that I've been studying for the last 25 years. You know, I traveled to Thailand as well a couple of times.
I saw that. What was that like? You know, going to the home of Muay Thai and training there in the heat and the sweat and the humidity. And
have you been before?
No, I'd love to. Like, yeah, it's on the bucket list. Anywhere is on the bucket list now at the moment. Like getting out of Lincoln would be quite nice. We'll start there. But
yeah, there's literally nothing better, mate. Literally, the first time I went was 2 weeks, just as a holiday / training holiday. And yeah, you like the food's so cheap, the people are so nice. Like you can just rock up, you get a private for like 15 quid for like an hour. And it's just insane. Like I emailed the gym before I went the first time, and I was like, look, I've done some before. I really want to focus on clinch, you know, when I go there, because they're good at the clinch. And I always advise my students that if you're going to go to Thailand, pick something that you want to work, because you get all different fighters who are good at certain areas. Like one's good at low kicks, one's good at you know, elbows. One's good at jumping techniques. So I was like, I really just want to focus on the clinch. And the first day, I was like, well, you know, I've got my black belt. You know, I've been training a few years. I'll be all right. And they literally threw me around like a rag doll. I was like, oh my God, this is insane.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
Exactly, right? And I was like, oh my God, this is insane. And I trained for 2 weeks, and by the end of the 2 weeks, I learned loads of different clinch grips, clinch throws, clinch sweeps, you know, and I was holding my ground. And then I had to come home and I was like, oh, damn. But yeah, and then the second time I went was on my honeymoon, actually. And my missus, she was like, oh, do you want to go to Thailand? I was like, yeah, definitely. Let's go.
Sold.
We booked that. We went there and I trained at 4 different gyms. I think Wetch Gym, Monsoon, where else? Lamai Muay Thai and Tiger as well. So and I was just like train. You know, just enjoy it. You know, you can train for a bit, go down the beach, have a swim, go out for some nice food, and just do it all the next day. So,
mate,
I would highly recommend going to Thailand, mate. Definitely.
Yeah, perfect. It's like I said, as soon as things open up again, I've got so many places that I want to travel to.
Oh God, yeah, I think everyone is, right?
I know, right? Yeah. Like I said, we'll get out of Lincoln first, then out of Lincolnshire, and then maybe out the country after that, and like little baby steps. But yeah, one day we'll be back on planes again and training around the world in the sun.
Yeah, I think there's light at the end of the tunnel. I think we're getting there soon, right?
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. We'll touch wood. Yeah, hopefully we're near the end of it now. But yeah, you've got such a great background in martial arts then. Is it always been something that you're just interested in? So is it something that you just kind of was just attracted to you, like from the first moment, I suppose?
So I was 7 years old when I started karate. Not even sure why, if it was my interest or my mum's interest, and I just started you know, a few classes in that. Did that till about 9, I think, and I got up to like my bluey purpley belt. But no, not discrediting karate, but the way that the classes were structured, I don't know if it was the club that I was at or whatever, it was just like a bit repetitive, and it wasn't as much variety and variation, right? So I enjoyed it, but it just got that little bit not as much as I could get out of it.
Sure.
So I was like, look, I'll take a little break, you know, see what else comes up, play some football. And then when I was 13, my dad was at the local gym, David Lloyd in Chigwell, and he saw a poster, and it was Matt and James. They'd just literally been like, right, we're starting these classes. We're going to do a demonstration. You know, come and see it if you're interested. So I was like, my dad was like, look, do you want to try this? I was like, yeah, cool, looks good. Anyway, turned up, sat front row. There was probably like, I don't know, maybe about 10 people there, 12 people. And then Matt and James came on and they were smashing focus pads, you know, got the weapons out, hitting with your screamer sticks, you know, Thai pads, taking each other down. And I was just like, what is this? Like, I need to do this. Like, sign me up. So literally, I bought the bag, had the sticks, had the pads, gloves.
All the gear, no idea.
Yeah, all the gear, no idea. But literally from then it was just training like 3 times a week. Solid. That was it. Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays I was training. And I've been with them ever since. You know, I branched off, opened up my own academy. Still really good friends, still keep in touch all the time, seeing weekly as well. They helped me through my fighting career as well, which was really good fun. And anything I've ever needed, Matt and James have always been there. So, you know, it's a real credit to them to where I've got to today. And obviously their instructors, you know, like Bob Breen, Paulson. Yeah, they're like the, you know what I mean?
Top, innit?
Yeah, and then obviously their instructors is Dan in Smarto, trained with Bruce Lee. So,
exactly,
so I think I feel like I've got some good lineage in me, to say. You know, but we're all just really nice guys. There's just no egos. You know, it's just a way of life now. You know, I can't see me doing anything else other than just training regularly and just, no, I don't really even think about it. It's not like, oh, I've got to go and train today. It's just like, right, I'm teaching or I'm training or doing something else, you know? So, yeah, that's kind of like how I got started. And I'm only 32 now, so it's crazy to think where I'll be in another 25 years. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, you got such a successful school as well. Obviously, like you said, going from 8 students, 6 of whom were your mates, to then
Yeah,
building it up to 200 students, and 50.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot to like these mega academies who've got like 700-800 students, but where
Mate,
I do
200 is
it,
200. It's like, yeah, it's good.
yeah. I mean, the amazing thing was where I do it. Like the hall that I'm in, it's not full-time premises, so I rent it at certain times throughout the week, which is good because obviously you get swings and roundabouts from having a full-time
Yeah, of
premises,
course.
part-time premises. But literally, the kids' classes were like 40 kids per class, and adults' classes were like 40s and 50s every single class, every single week.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think the most I had in a class was about 64. That was just after like January last year.
Yeah.
When it was like New Year's resolutions and that. So
Yeah, good old January times.
it was just mad because you can't, like, it's a 2,000 square foot room.
Right.
And it's like, right, we've got to do close quarter boxing and clinch because you throw your kick up, you're going to hit someone. But yeah, it's a really good vibe. And fingers crossed, I'll get back there, sometime soon. But, there's loads of good memories there. And I've got students all the time messaging me saying, Rich, when you open, I'm fat. Rich, when you open, I need to lose weight. Rich, and I'm like, as soon as I can get open, we'll get back to it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, something to look forward to, definitely.
It's like the martial arts are so important for people at the moment, and that's why like my academy's trying kept online as much as we can, and to keep people's mental health and physical health just stable, I suppose. In a time when a lot of people are just sat on Netflix and eating food, and people have lost hope a little bit, and it's a bit like, ugh, especially in the winter months as well at the moment. It's just hard.
I think at the start, people are like, oh yeah, cool, online's fine, we'll deal with it. But where people are now missing actually getting out of the house and social interaction and meeting their friends and physically being in a gym environment and smashing pads and being shouted at and beasted, and just having a good workout in a physical environment, that's massive. I've missed that loads. That's
that community feel, isn't it?
Yeah, and you don't really realise it till it's actually gone, Like you can train at home and stuff like that, which is fine, but that other element is just so big as well,
It is, yeah, it's huge. But obviously you're offering the online stuff through the Punchbagpro, which is obviously just an incredible thing. And I also saw that it's such a good workout because you did your little shred program, didn't you? Was it a 30-day shred thing? I saw the before and after. I was like, holy shit, man, like impressive.
Yeah. So that was obviously I pride myself on keeping in good shape all the time. Yeah. But I think that was during the first lockdown. And I was just like, we'll be open soon. I'll be back to training. And I looked in the mirror. I was like, damn, you're out of shape, mate. And I was like, the first time ever. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to do something about it. So I was like, right, what can I do? I was like, well, I've got the audio workouts that I made, which were absolutely killer. I was like, if I literally hit it hard for 30 days, do one audio workout every 6 days, have a day off, and just completely, cut the carbs, cut the rubbish, and just eat clean, hit it as hard as I can and just see what happens. And that was the result. So I was like, all right, cool, let's put it in a little program, tell everyone what I did.
Yeah.
And it was pretty simple, literally, I turned up at the gym, it was like a 10-minute skip, one of the audio workouts. And then what was it afterwards? Oh yeah, 100 press ups, 100 sit ups, 100 squats, 100 burpees, and then finish off with a little bit of free weights, just like some shoulder presses, some bicep curls. And I did that like 4 weeks, and that was the result. So yeah, it's quite an intense program. I mean, if it's easy, I've never really thought you'd get much out of it, but it's pretty tough. If you try the boxing one, it's killer. And the MMA one as well. They're all killer audio workouts, and I kind of got inspired by Baz to do those because have you done Baz's audio workout?
I haven't. No, I've heard of it, and I've had a quick look at it, but I haven't tried audio workouts. It's something I'm gonna have to look at, I think, because
obviously, a few years ago when I was doing all my fight training and stuff, and we had it down the gym with Matt and James as well. It's Baz's workout, and that was just killer. But I wanted something that replicated the same, but a bit harder and just a bit different, just to incorporate some different things. So I was like, well, I'll make my own one. And it seemed to do the job pretty nicely. And it's just something something that if you've got nothing else to do and you want someone to shout at you and beast you, instead of just standing on the punch bag and working, you've got my voice going, come on, keep working, let's go, come on, harder, more speed, more power. It gives you that motivation. And sometimes you need that when you're solo training.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Solo training, I think you need the motivation even more, just because it's too easy to let yourself off, isn't it? And kind of go, well, I'll do the half round, but I'm feeling it now, so I'll just stop now. It's all good. I've done my workout.
Exactly. I think that's the difference between like regular students and students who are like top level fighters and champions. Is what's in here, because a lot of people will just be like, I've done 2.5 minutes, there's 30 seconds left, I'll just call it a day. Whereas people like me or yourself, or people who are really elite level will go all the way to the end, and you don't stop until that buzzer, even if you're physically exhausted, you keep going.
On the floor.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to keep going because, you've got to think of your opponent. You can't stop. You've got to put in the work and then you get the results out of it.
Yeah, most definitely. Where do you see Punchbagpro going in the future then? What's your kind of your vision for it in the next year, 2 years? Because obviously now you've got this amazing catalogue of stuff. Like you said, over 1,000 videos worth, which is just crazy. But now, what are you going to do with it?
That is the question. So it's kind of the way I look at it, it can be split into two things. If you've got a punch bag and you want to learn drills and make the most out of your punch bag and just stand there and doing the same thing over and over again, it's a really good resource just to look at. Pick something that you haven't done before and just drill it. There's so much stuff in there, like different Superman variations or different psychic variations or Muay Thai conditioning drills, or and there's other stuff as well with partner work like MMA as well. Like 50 key principles of MMA success, which is like gold dust. Teaching you how to successfully win MMA fights. So there's a bit of both. There's really technical knowledge that normal people doing kickboxing class can just jump into and be like, oh, I'm going to try that in sparring, or I'm going to put this technique at the end of my combination. And then there's also just people who have got a punch bag at home who are just like, right, I'm going to try some audio workouts, or just see what I can get out of it. So I'm kind of just letting it seeing what I've got, just seeing where it goes, but there's no pressure on it. It's just fun, I'm just doing it because it's fun and I'm showing my stuff. Like when I started it was just a few videos here and there. That was a bit, I'll do a boxing one and then an advanced kicking one and then an MMA takedowns one. And then I was like, right, where's the gaps that I haven't filled in? And I brought it all together into like a nice program. But there's still loads more stuff I've got to add to it. Like looking for it today, and there's like boxing fakes I want to add in, loads of other courses. So hopefully I'll just keep filming and keep adding to it.
Not short of ideas.
Yeah, when you've been doing it 25 years, mate, you look at it and you're just like, oh God, there's so much more that I can be adding to this, But then you're like, well, do people actually want all this information? Like, but I think if you can structure it well, like Matt's been really good at giving me some good advice. And he's always on hand to answer any questions. So
Matt's obviously the man to talk to for online, isn't he? In the way that he's done Mitmaster and structured that and broken it all down, because he must have thousands of hours as well on the stuff he's done. But the way he structures it and breaks everything down is like spot on. Yeah,
and I think where obviously he's been teaching me for so many years, it's just natural for me to take advice from him. And when like even on a Friday night, like all the classes finish, you're like, oh, Rich, can you come down and do some filming? I'll be like, yeah, cool, like, no worries. But then you realise the actual work ethic that he's got and that, martial artists have got to actually do things, that you wouldn't usually do. Like, Friday nights, Sunday nights is when we go down and do all the filming and stuff. You've had a hard week teaching or training or whatever, you want to see the family or whatever. It's taking those times. I remember literally even a few weeks ago when it was like the cold snow and ice, and I've been doing something, it was even late at night, probably like 11:30. I was like, oh, I really want to get this course filmed. So go down the gym, open it up. It was like 12:30 in the evening by the time I'd even started filming. I'm just like, well, I've got nothing else to do right now. And this is the work that I put in now. I'll look back in a few years and be like, won't even remember the work that I put in,
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just how it grows, isn't it? The more you enjoy something and add to it, it's just the side hustle sort of idea.
Yeah, and like you said, like this is the perfect time, when the academy's closed, you've got a little bit more time on your hands to get stuff like this done. And I think loads of people are starting to to do these little projects that maybe they've put off in the past.
Yeah,
And it's like,
yeah,
oh shit, I haven't got an excuse now. I need to do it now, don't I? Because I've
yeah.
got this time in my hands. So it's like, oh, I'll do a course, I'll write a book, I'll do this, etc.
Mm.
But yeah, so it's awesome. It's just like
Thank
good
you.
for you, and it's fantastic. Did you ever get any of the fear then for putting stuff out online? Because I know that's something that quite a lot of people, myself included, to be fair, sometimes think about it, and it's like, oh shit, you put yourself out there. It's all right doing it in front of your students because it's like, oh well, I know them all, it's all good. But putting something out there into the ether of the internet, it's a bit of a scary concept sometimes for people. It's like, oh fucking hell, like.
You know what, right? So this is quite a big area to talk about, because like when you create something, your mind naturally goes, oh, I wonder if people like it, or I wonder if people take the mickey out of me, or this, that, and the other. But I think if you're true to yourself and you know that the stuff you're teaching is good, then you just got to keep going and keep pushing, because people will recognize that, and you'll always get haters and people who say, oh, this is crap, this, that, and the other. The only time I've had something go wrong is when, so out of all the videos I've filmed, no problems at all. People are like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I can use that. Nice technique. I filmed this one video ages ago, right? And it went viral, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, basically it was on my, what was it? Roundhouse kick and catches and takedowns course, something like that. And what it was, the guy I was training with threw me a roundhouse kick, and it was a really unorthodox throw. It's where you duck under the leg lands on your shoulder, you throw them off, and it was like the weirdest sweep you ever seen, right?
Right.
That's why I labelled the technique one of my most favourite unorthodox throws, right? Because it's just mental, right? I saw it, I think I might have seen it in wrestling once. Like one of the takedowns they were doing. I was like, I can modify that using this catch. And it was just the most random throw ever, right? So stuck it on Facebook. Anyway, I think I went on a holiday to Germany. I was in the Black Forest and started getting loads of notifications on my phone. I'm
ping,
like,
ping, ping.
Mate, it was like that, right? And I'm looking and I'm like, this guy is useless. Like, this guy is a load of rubbish. Oh my God, like classic crap. Like, you name it, right? There was abuse, right? And what it was it was people like, because I was wearing Thai shorts in the video, people like, oh, if you do that in Thai boxing, you're going to get your elbow smashed in. Sorry, you're going to get your head smacked in and all this stuff. And I was just like, dude, it's literally just, I just replied once. I was like, it's just an unorthodox throw. Like, it does work. I've managed to try it. And then next thing, Liam Harrison goes and shares it. And he's like, yeah, oh, yeah. And I'm like, obviously, I respect him. He's really good. He's got, done amazing things for the UK Muay Thai. Yeah. And he was like, oh, look at this clown. Look at this donut with his throw. And I was like, you know what, right? At the end of the day, I'm getting exposure from it. I think it went to something stupid like 120,000 views. And I was like,
oh my God, it's bad publicity, mate.
Yeah. And I was like, look, I could just argue with everyone and be like, this is why it works. But I was like, you know what, just leave it, whatever. I know it works. It's unorthodox. You might get hit when you do it. You might land it, And then people started doing it and posting it. And I'm like, hang on a sec, you're just saying that it didn't work. And then next thing, you're filming yourself doing it in the gym and posting it. And I was just like, oh, you know what, but that's just the internet for you, isn't it? And it made me think, it was like, if my worst video goes viral, right, and I could post something like the best thing that I think is amazing, like one of my secret things, and get like 10 views. I was just like, like the internet is the weirdest place. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you need to really worry about haters and stuff like that, because you could put something out there, that you think's amazing and life-changing, and then you'll see a cat fall into a water bowl and it gets 10 million views. And you're just like, that is the world of the internet, But over time you'll get, a steady following and stuff like that. But you just can't worry. Like, if you do, you'll never do anything. And it's just the same as everything in life. If you've got that fear, there's always going to be people who like your stuff. There's always going to be people who don't like it and are probably jealous of, what you're what you're
jealousy
doing.
probably comes a lot into it, doesn't it? Like someone's putting stuff out there, doing something successful, you're not. You're sat on your ass doing nothing. So it's like, oh well, I'll just type a comment. It's like, oh.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not one to hate. Like, I like Liam Harrison's work. Like, not nothing against anyone who said bad things about this one throw. Hopefully Senchai will use it in like a year's time, and I'll be like, see that. But whatever, you got, like, martial arts is about pushing the boundaries and trying new things. Like, if everyone just sticks on the same, right, you have to front kick this way, you have to do it this way, then there's no new stuff that comes out, there's no cool stuff. I mean, the majority of stuff people have seen, but when you start adding in funky stuff, you want to be doing that and seeing how it goes. And if you believe in it, just go with it, And you've got to have a bit of thick skin, because if everyone was a bit upset or hurt when people said something negative, you wouldn't get anywhere. You got to accept it. There's just people who do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Just don't worry about it. Like,
yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head then, where you just said you need to try funky stuff. And I think people sometimes get caught up in the, oh, will it work? Will it not work? This, and sometimes it's just like, oh, this is just a bit of fun, guys. You need to chill out, relax, just enjoy the training. You need to get back to that root of just enjoying your training again. And you don't always have to have the mindset of, oh, will this work in a street fight? Will this work in a ring fight? Will this work in this fight? Will it work? It's like, no, but sometimes it's just cool to try something new, investigate,
totally
innovate it.
Yeah, like obviously if you're fighting and competing, one of my principles has always been use high percentage, low risk techniques, right? So instead of coming out with a flying jump side kick, you just want to work your jab, right? Because in those sort of situations, when you're sparring, like, one of the techniques I did on one of my super moves was from Tekken, when they're dragging uppercut. Right? I was like, if they can do it in the game, let me try it in sparring, right? So what I did, I was out of range, threw a high jab, they went up with their guard, and I ran in and threw a massive uppercut underneath, and it worked.
Nice, like, boom.
There you go. You've got to try. It's the ones who try different things that stand out, and that's what, that's how martial arts develops,
Yeah,
really.
Tekken's cool. Just don't try Mortal Kombat and try like pulling someone's spine out of the front or something. Like, fatality.
Yeah, I don't think I'm that good at the moment.
Maybe throw a cheap ball at them. Get some no-touch knockouts going on.
Yeah, maybe another few years we'll see how that.
That'll be the next one. Punchbagpro, no touch.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Those videos when there's like, that fascinates me, right? Because you see like one guy and he goes like that, and 50 men fall over. It's like, yes, like, my belief is that it's not. I don't even know what's going on there, but I'm not one to go, that's a load of rubbish. How can you teach? That's like, if those guys are happy doing that, let them go on with it.
Well, exactly. Like, they're doing it. No one's making them.
Exactly. I think the main thing the world just needs is constant positivity, because negativity don't get anyone anywhere. It just breeds bad stuff. If you don't like something, it doesn't mean that you have to be negative about it. Just, that's their thing. This is my thing.
Roll past. It's all good. Yeah.
Exactly. Just accept it. Let people get on with their own stuff, and you do your own thing. That's it, really.
For sure, man. Yeah, definitely. Where can people find you then? So if they want to get in touch with you, if they want to see some of your stuff, if they want to look at some of the audio courses and kill themselves, or look at some of the video courses, how can people get in touch with you?
I'm quite a friendly person, so if you want to add me on Facebook, Richard Beast Mode Baskin, I'm happy to friend request you. Also, punchbagpro.com, Instagram, Punchbagpro, YouTube, search Punchbagpro. So basically just Punchbagpro everything, and something will come up. YouTube, there's loads of videos on there. I think there's about 60 videos at the moment, just good technical videos. The website's obviously got loads of different courses. I'll be adding stuff to that in the future. What else? Yeah, if you want to train me, if you're in Essex, when all the restrictions, lift, my gym's at Fusion Kickboxing Academy in Chingford, or there's Masters Academy, which is James's, and the ones that Matt's gym was at, do privates and stuff down there. So basically anything you want, just hit me up. I'll be happy to help.
Anything you want, there you go. You'll get loads of messages now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put all your links in the bio and stuff like that as well. So yeah, so
Nice.
yeah, awesome. Good luck with all the Punchbagpro stuff. It looks amazing. I've had a look at some of the stuff. Definitely recommend it for people. You've got some awesome guys as well recommending it. Like
Yeah.
Chris Cyborg.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit! Like, how did that come about? How did you get them on board?
So, well, not technically on board, but
Yeah.
when I first started doing the Punchbagpro, I did a workout. It was actually Baz's workout, and I was like, I'll tag him in it. And he was like, oh, that's great. Like, Punchbagpro, like, thanks for sharing it, you know, this, that, and the other. So Chris Cyborg commented on one of my Instagram posts. Matt Fidesz, you know, Matt Fidesz, like UK international like martial arts expert. He was like, oh, a lot of love for this. So I was like, well, I'm sticking those quotes on the front page of my website. You know?
Yeah.
You know, like if you get a bit of recognition from like UFC Hall of Famers and UFC fighters,
use that shit, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, a lot, and also just normal regular people are like getting messages on YouTube and people just going, you know, they're like the real people that, you know, you chuck a video out there and someone's like, oh, this really helped me. I'm going to try this in sparring. Oh, this technique helped me win my fight. And you're just like, that's wicked, man. Like, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Like sharing and seeing people do well. Yeah. So, yeah, that's how that all came about. But yeah, I'm always happy to help people and give advice and stuff like that, you know. That's what we're here for, right?
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much. I could chat to you all day, but yeah, this has been awesome. Thank you so much. How was your first podcast? Was that all right? Did I ease you into it all right?
Loved it. You know what? Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, really enjoyed it. You know, it's pretty simple. Yeah, I'll definitely look forward to doing more. But since you asked me, I've got another guy on Friday, someone who was one of my students. He does something and he's invited me on Friday. So I'll be doing another one on Friday. But you got me first, Dan.
Perfect. Yes. That's the main thing. I got you in first. Awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Hopefully we'll do another one in the future. See where everything goes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'd love to come and see you as well when everything opens up again. I'll do, you know, come do some training, maybe get a video blog going on and do some training, have a chat then as well. And, you know, the sky is the limit as soon as things are open again and we can be back smashing pads and sparring.
Definitely. And I'll get a copy of your book when it comes out as well.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh, is that it? Yeah?
That's the one. Yeah, it's done.
What was I going to say? Oh, so you're proofreading it or something now, right?
Yeah. So yeah, if just ordered it off Amazon, making sure that everything's looking all right, proofreading it all, making sure the commas are work, make sure I've spelt my name right, which is always a good start and all that stuff.
Nice. Who's in there? I saw Eric's in there.
Eric's in there. Yeah, we've got Neil Adams. Who else? Rick Fay, Trevor Ambrose, Gilbert Ballantine, Lubo Komarov, John Will, Victor Estima. So yeah, some really top level guys. So yeah, it's really cool. Like literally all these podcasts and people sharing videos and stuff like that. It's just all coming together with all the martial arts, isn't it? So it is. Yeah, it's
just keep on top of it. It's really cool.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you then, Richard. Take care.
Thank you for having me, mate. Yeah, have a really nice day. I'll see you soon.
You too, buddy. Thank you.
See you, mate. Bye.